Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. How's everybody doing tonight? It is December 14th, 2021. What happened to December 1st? How many of you out there are feeling just like that? Like there's just so much going on and there's so many things to do and take care of that it just almost seems impossible to keep up with everything. If that's you, give me a thumbs up, a smiley face, a huggy, something. Let me know that you're out there. It is really good to be here tonight. It has been rather an exhausting time in our world. It has been an exhausting time in our universe and in our everyday lives. And I was talking to someone today, gal that I know, and we were just talking about, hey, what's up, what's happening, and how come it is that people are having such a hard time, staying together, and how come we're having such a hard time navigating. So I'm going to start out by talking about a little bit about that, just that, what's going on in our world and why is it so schmegging hard to navigate right now, and why is it hard to hold it together? So I'm going to talk about that. I like to talk about three things. So I'm going to talk about that first. Then I'm going to share 3 ways that you can shield your energy to prepare for this year, because that is super duper important. That you know how to navigate. There's 3 basic steps every sensitive should know. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my passions and share those with you, and some ways for you to get ahead on your holiday shopping. And it won't necessarily be in that order, but here we go. So again, welcome everybody tonight. I'm so glad to have each and every one of you on board, either live or in the recordings. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is that we have this world that has gone in a different direction than any of us ever thought that it would. Any of us ever estimated that it would. And when COVID was first announced and hit, the planet basically, and then we had the age of Aquarius lock in. I haven't talked about this in a while, but you got 2 big planets, a malefic and a benefic, and they locked in place. And as soon as they locked in place, that's when we began this dance with all the planets. And we recently had a beautiful display in the sky of 3 planets and the moon, and absolutely beautiful. But during that time, we had some of the highest frequencies. Actually, they're very low frequencies, but a lot of them on the Schumann's resonance. And it was just crazy. And if you want to know what that looks like, go over to toolsofenergyprotection.com and look for the article that was posted before this week. And you will see the pictures. And so it's a very low frequency, but it's going very quickly. And we discovered that that was a frequency that was helping to give sensitives, to give those who are aware the energy that they're going to need mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally to go through the times that we're going through. So we just actually, if you will, ate a really big dinner. Now we're digesting it and getting ready to move forward. And as that's happening on the world scene, there's a lot of things unlocking. And this is not a political Terrific Tuesday show. So, if you want to see what's going on in the world, go look at your phone or look it up on the internet. And I'm only going to touch a few things that really touched my heart, because those things really need to be looked at in order for you to understand how to navigate and how to shield your energy, because the 3 basics every sensitive should know include these. So the first thing is, I was talking to a very lovely lady today, and she helps me a little bit with marketing and getting things going. And we were talking about the most recent tragedy, in case you haven't heard or you don't watch the news, about a tornado. And it ripped through our country. And I don't know, I still haven't learned how many miles it was on the ground or how wide it was. I know those statistics are probably out, but this happened in Kentucky. And not only did the tornado go through, but it took out an entire town. And there's nothing but piles of rubble left. Yes, there's some other places that it touched as well. And so because I care and because tornadoes are near and dear to my heart, because I too have lost everything in a tornado, I was really touched by it. So as a sensitive person, it's a good idea to maybe watch 1 or 2 newsreels and be done with it, and then go pray and ask that God's spirit or source find every single person, deceased or alive, and the dogs and the humans can find them quickly. And instead, I watched a bunch of it. And as a sensitive, I just began to absorb all that information. And I triggered that time when I was in a tornado and I lost everything. And my beautiful, lovely friend today told me, she says, you know, you got to quit watching that stuff. And it's true, because as a highly sensitive person or an empath, when we watch that stuff, we begin to feel the emotions of those other people. We begin to feel that and sometimes draw it to us to process it in order to help. And it ends up wearing us out. It ends up creating a different set of circumstances for us in our day-to-day life, and we often feel stressed out, if you will. So it's a really good idea as a sensitive, getting ready, the 3 basic ways, you know, getting ready for this, you know, getting ready for what's happening here with the holidays. One of the first things to know is when to unplug and when to plug in. So if you want to put it in more technical terms, it's protecting your own vibration, your own energy shield. So am I saying not to look at those things? No. But what I'm saying is, as a sensitive, you want to look at what's going on. Do the best you can to keep yourself from absorbing that energy, and instead send love, angels of light, forces of light, money if you can, volunteer time if you can, to help those people out. So I hope that is clear. But again, I have lost everything in a tornado, and it's awful. It's devastating. It was a small area. I can't imagine losing an entire community where there's no power, there's no running water, there's gas lines, electric lines that are being taken care of. So it's got to really be devastating for those folks. And on top of it, we are coming up on the Christmas holiday, and they're still going to be working through what's going on in their own lives. So I wanted to share with you very quickly a place that you can go if you feel that you want to give. This is Team Kentucky. I will post this if you're on YouTube. I'll try to post a link. I'll post it on my webpage and down here below in Facebook. But this is Team Kentucky, and Andy Brashear put it together. And what they're saying is that every penny that they get will go to those people. And in fact, they've already taken some of the money out for the funerals. So, you know, some places you donate, it's got to go through the administration and everybody gets paid, and whatever's left over goes to the victims. And in this case, this man is set it up so it goes directly to them if you want to check that out. So it's just something from my heart that I desire to share with all of you. And so I'm going to stop the share screen, and I hope that some of you are moved to take action, whether it's asking for angels to be there, and they're going to need the support for a while. It'll disappear out of the news, but those people are still going to be working through this. They're still going to be suffering. They're still going to need, you know, the basics of life and some counseling. So anyway, I hope you'll keep them in your prayers. All right, so that is way number 1. Kind of, like I said, I'm going to mix it in with some things that are near and dear to my heart. So the number 1 key is to, just a moment. The number 1 key of the 3 basics every sensitive should know. Number 1 is to protect your own vibration by whatever means that means. There's different ways, different things. And one of the most glorious things is something called a crystalline energy shield, which I came across a couple of years ago. And so if you don't have one yet, or you're wondering what it is, it's basically a vibration that's crystalline in quality that is placed in your toroidal field, which you have to stretch your arm straight out, and that's your energy field. And so when that's put into place, it repels negative energy much more efficiently. And it does have the vibration of crystal, of quartz crystal. So from quartz watches that does carry energy, and it's quite lovely. Every person that I have ever helped to put that on has reported back to me that it was one of the most beautiful, lovely things, and they felt stronger and more empowered. So if that's something that you desire, then let's get together, and it takes about 30 minutes, and I can put that on for you. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is talk about number 2. So first is protect your own vibration, right? So you've got to have a protective shield, and that leads into the next one, which is upgrade your energy shield. And upgrading can mean anything from working on what's in your heart and healing from past relationships or current relationships to, really balancing your chakras, your toroidal field. And a lot of us are facing the holidays kind of cattywampus this year because last year, a lot of us didn't travel for the holidays. We weren't with our families because of the quarantine. And this year you're like, woohoo, let's go. I'm ready to get back. And here comes whatever variant is creepy crawling around. And so people are like, should I go? Should I not go? Should I go? Should I not go? And they're kind of freaking out. So that's something else to protect or upgrade your energy shield and protect your own vibration. Because if you are not sure what to do and you're feeling compelled to do something, it's going to cause what's called cognitive dissonance. So like this and not like this. So that's way number 2 is to upgrade your energy shield. And that sometimes means taking better care of your physical body. It means getting more rest because it's our physical body that supports the spiritual body in this 3D reality. And so if you're physically exhausted or tired or worn out, then get some rest, take some time for yourself, drink plenty of water, maybe take a bath and use some candles or listen to some uplifting music. Okay. So before I get to way number 3 basics that every sensitive should know, I'm going to take some questions. So I see there's people watching and got some questions down here in the live feed. So let's see here. I'd like to say hello to Deborah. Deborah, I'm glad you're feeling better. Hello to Becky. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. And Paul says, where is December going? I love you, Paul. December is going any way that you direct it. I'm telling you, it's going to be a crazy ride, and mostly it's because of the emotions or the energy and motion of the human beings on this planet. But I will show you the Schumanns here in just a moment so you can see we're getting a smooth sail, but that's a really great question. Genesis, good to see you. Belen, good to see you. Craig, good to see you. And I hope everybody else is doing well. If you come on later and watch the replay and you want to give us a thumbs up, let us know you were here. That's great. If you're on YouTube or here, you can post a question below. And of course, I answer my YouTube questions about once a week. And I try to answer the Facebook questions as soon as they come in. So wanted to share another thing with you. And that is, get over here to my share screen. When I was talking about, let's see here. When I was talking about upgrading and protecting your own energy, you know that last week we had a lot of shift in the vibration. There were very low tones, like 5 hertz, but there was a lot of them. And so this last couple of days, if you look up here, there's less of a disturbance up on the spiritual level. So here's a little bit more spiritual manna, kind of like the dessert, if you will, that's come in, but pretty much it's smooth sailing right now. And I'm glad for that because we could all use some smooth sailing. All right. So that's what I wanted you to see. That's where we are now. Pretty smooth in the sailing business. All right, let's go on. A little dusty in my office tonight. Okay. So I've had two people ask me. So Paul's asking me what's going on in December, and in general, what should you expect in 2022? Think about 2022. It's 2022. So 2 is generally, 0 is where everything and nothing exists all at the same time. 1 is a point in space, a trajectory. And 2 is where the line comes across to create an event horizon. So you're going to see a lot of events, world events, changing again very rapidly. That's what you can expect for next year. I don't expect for there to be much stability in anything. So if you watch a stock market right now, it's up and down, up and down, up and down, and more than normal. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now, because right now, let's get through December before we start worrying about next year. Sorry, it is really dusty in here, and I changed my office around. I think I stirred up a little bit more than I wanted to. Anyway, okay. So number 3, for protecting or shielding your energy for the holidays, the 3 basics again is protect your own vibration, upgrade your energy shield, and the 3rd is letting go of something before you meet up with that person. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you're traveling for the holidays or you're going over to someone's house that you're not exactly in a good vibration with, if you know what I mean, then you might have animosity towards them. You might have a grudge against them. You might have ill will or just generally don't like them because they're not a very nice person. So asking yourself before you get into that situation, what do you need to let go of? Do you need to let go of the attachment of the outcome? You know, is there an outcome that you desire and, you know, you're going to push for it? Most people will push back. They don't want to be pushed in a certain direction. You know, is there somebody who is, most highly sensitive people and empaths have people in their family that are narcissistic or sociopathic? So are you going to let go of letting that person talk all over you or verbally berate you so that when the time comes, you can, you know, set your boundary? So what are you going to let go of before you get into that certain situation this holiday season? That's my question. A lot of different things that can happen. All right, and I will do a little reading. If you all will hang on, I will do a little reading for the rest of December. So if you'll hang on here with me. And again, I'm going to share my screen because the next thing that I would like to show you, because we just did Schumann's, you can see that's pretty steady, smooth sailing right now. Take advantage of that. The next thing I'd like to talk about is that because I know the need is great, that people would like to get their energy cleared. They'd like to upgrade their shields. When people are meeting up for holidays that don't usually get along, there's usually another timeline or past life involved in that with unresolved energy. And that's why that person is such a stickler in your life, if you will. Why there's so much resistance between the two of you, and it keeps you locked, kind of like the malefic and benefic planet, and squaring off. And that doesn't have to take place. So if you have that other person in your life, it's simple to connect into all the other lifetimes or timelines where you two have had similar situations, to remove that energy, to just simply remove it from the records, let the wisdom remain. And when you see that person, you're going to notice a difference, whether it's just you noticing or they notice. But I've done these clearings before and had people that were just fighting like cats and dogs. And the next time they got together, they kind of looked at each other like blink, blink, like they didn't know what to do because so much past life or other timeline energy had been lifted and shifted. So if that sounds like something that you would like to do, I'm going to share my screen here really quickly and I'm going to show you what's available for that. So I have gift certificates and I only had so many printed out for this year. And I've put them in little gift bags. So here you can see the little gift bags on the screen. And the gift certificate comes inside, and there's a little ornament in there too for extra added fun. And so if you're like, well, I'd like to get my energy cleared, but maybe my sister would like to have one, my mom, just make sure that they understand what energy clearing is. Then go ahead and click one of the buttons. There's a 30-minute gift certificate festive bag, and there's 60-minute gift bag. And then I've included an email down there for you to send me an email once you've purchased it with the person's name and address, so I can get that shipped out to them right away. And please don't wait too late, because number one, I only have a limited amount. They're actually right over here on my desk. And once they're gone, they're gone. So just really quick, look here. It's so cute. They come with a little ornament inside. No, not all of them are the same. And then the gift certificate comes inside that they can call me and tell me the gift certificate number, and it comes in a little cute little bag. And for those of you that are into fluffy stuff, it has fluffy stuff inside too. And some people will get them from me at the bookstore down in Denver, for heaven's sake. So if you want to do that, let me know too. And then we can get your loved one set up. And I've already had people give them as gifts this year early, like they had early Christmases. And those people have called. We had a wonderful time, and there's so many possibilities. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the sharing there and then get back to what we were talking about. So I'm going to now move over oh, hello, Rosemary. Hey, how's it going? And Maddie, good to see you. All right. So Bellen, again, what to expect next year. I'm going to cover that a little bit later. We have another Tuesday before before December's over. But Paul had asked what's going on in December. So I'm going to ask my guides what is going to be going on in December. And we're at the 14th, and we've got a few days, there to go. And happy holidays to you too, Missy. And I'm going to shuffle the cards here. I'm using this deck. It's a Baron Reed deck. And I'm going to ask them, ooh, I'm getting tingly. Somebody is tuned in and giving me tinglies, okay? So somebody's thinking about what they really want to know. They know how this works. And as I'm shuffling, I'd like to remind you that, as well as my private practice of sessions where I do them on Zoom, or I can actually do FaceTime, or sometimes on Facebook, there's a little way to talk to people, whatever way works for you. I am running a special on sessions tomorrow. And if you go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, no, actually I didn't. I put it in the Facebook feed, the special that I'm running for tomorrow. And I sent them out in the emails for those of you that receive emails. And I only have a couple spots left for discounted sessions tomorrow. And then Thursday, I'll be at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver, and you can do an appointment by phone or video if you like, and get a jump on getting those energies cleared, because I know a lot of you have been through a lot and you feel so overwhelmed, and there's nothing like just readjusting everything. It feels fantastic. And yes, I do it in my day. And then because there's going to be a lot of shifts in December. And so in order to meet your needs this year, I decided that I would go down to the bookstore pretty much the week before Christmas, because there's so many people that are just harried and worn out, and they want to feel better. And there's a way to do that by simply shifting vibrational frequencies. Maybe you want to talk to a deceased loved one. I get that a lot this time of year, where somebody passed last year and they're really missing them, and they want to come in and just talk to that person. I do that as well. But anyway, just so you know, put it on your calendar. I will be at the bookstore. Actually, I'm going to be doing remote sessions on the 21st, and then the 22nd and 23rd and 24th, I will be there. So if you need help, if you're feeling drained, if you're just feeling like you just want to give up, because there's so many of us that we've had it. We're so done. We're so over it. And, some of us are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and we just want to rest, and here comes more. So let's get your energy fields cleaned out, basically your chakras all cleaned out, so that you can balance when you get that brick upside the head, not literally, but figuratively. All right. Here we go. Let's have a reading, see what's going on. Okay. So we're going to ask what's going to happen for the rest of December. And I'm going to do a reading for the collective consciousness. That means every man, woman, and child. And every man, woman, and child on this planet feeds into the collective consciousness. So first I'm going to do a reading for that. And so I'm asking what is going to happen with the general overall consciousness of the entire planet, which includes us. Oh, wow. The first thing I get is here and now. This card, here and now, and it came in upside down. So, oh wow, I just got goose pimples everywhere. So what my guides are telling me is to pay attention to the here and now. And for a lot of us, again, we've just had enough of the politics, enough of the mudslinging. Now we've got people telling us global warming is coming and these big tornadoes are the new way that things are going to be, which I don't agree with them 100%. But it seems like everybody's pushing this fear agenda. And one thing my guides did tell me last week was focus on what's right in front of you. He said, write out a plan of what you need to do and focus on one thing at a time. And boy, were they ever right. Because I had 3 things that were right, number 1 priority today, number 1 priority today, 3 things. And I couldn't do them all at once. It was overwhelming. And so I had to prioritize them, and it was really tough. But dealing with what's in your life in the here and now, listening to your body. I know my body is telling me you're eating way too much right now because you're so stressed out. Can I get a hallelujah from the overeaters? And then some of us that are coffee doers. Anyway, so listen to your body. All right. The rest of December, ooh, another one upside down. I'm not sure I like this one, but basically it says to the sea. That's what it says, to the sea. And it also came upside down. So what that means, my guides are telling me, is that, when you go out to sea, you're going out in waters generally that are uncharted, unless you're a nautical person and you're in the Navy or whatever it is you do, maybe a shipping person. But in our mental, emotional world, out to sea means going out into a place that we're not sure where we're going. It means letting go. And I do know, I'm getting the cold chills again. You all that work with me, cold chills are just 100% spot on. Verification. But there's a lot of things I've been needing to let go of. Behavioral patterns, working so hard, being so stressed out all the time as opposed to working smart. And that's a behavioral pattern that I have to address. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I'm so used to it. Maybe my brain is patterned in that direction. But if I'm going to make it and be the divine spiritual leader that I am and teach the Spiritual Awakening Academy and nurture all you lovelies to embrace your own gifts and know what's truly possible, because there is so much more possible in this reality than people know. And that is power. That is the ability to take your world by the horns and transform it. You want to know what's up for the rest of December? That's it. And partly into January, because my guides are telling me for you, Belen, that we've got to get a hold of where we're going and get it steered in the right direction for January, which I think is funny because everybody always wants to have a New Year's resolution and they think about, the sad things and the things they miss. And they're like, oh, heave ho, let's go. And, and by February, it's all gone. Because it's hard to, or it can be challenging to do your New Year's resolution, right? Unless you have someone to help you along. So, oh, good gravy. Anyway, Yeah, had a long day today. Anyways, so I'm going to draw one more card for the rest of December, but please believe me, a lot of folks during the winter, they like to stay at home and it's darker. And, that's why we put up lights at this time of year, no matter what holiday you're celebrating, to help us remember that the sun will come again and we'll have spring and all that. But this year, more than ever that I've seen before since the number of years on this planet, this is a time to get your head in the game, so to speak. And I'm not talking about what the ambiguous bay is feeding you and wants you to believe. And, here's this rumor of war and that rumor of war, They talk about in the Bible that the end of days won't come yet because you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars and famines and pestilence and blah, blah, blah. And we're seeing all that now. And it's tragic. And it touches my heart. In that, as an empath, a starseed, a highly sensitive person, narrow is the way. That means have compassion for those people. What I was telling you earlier, protect your vibration. Yes, I watched too much about that tragedy because I have compassion. But, you got to turn it off after a while. One of my good friends reminded me of that. And then you pray and you meditate and you send positive energy because your faith that when you pray and you ask God's Spirit or Source to help these people, that you ask for angels of light to be sent for everything that they need, that your faith can move mountains. And I heard that the very next day, they already had pallets of water being delivered to the people that needed them, keeping in mind that those people had lost everything, including their transportation or where to know to pick up what they needed. And that, I know, was the faith of so many prayers. And there's more to come. Like I said, mark it on your calendar if you're going to pray for these people, because the normal human brain will forget after a while. And my prayer today was that every man, woman, and child that had lost everything, that an organization would be there to deliver them some sort of Christmas, a meal, a present, something. Because I can't personally get in my car, which I wanted to do, and load it up with all these presents and drive, And I know sometimes you feel that way too. The power of prayer is a great power. Please use it. And please use it for anything that you see coming, anything you desire to change, even the weather. Okay? Now, the last one, oh, that's funny. The last card for the rest of December says in exchanging gifts. See, exchanging gifts. Now, how funny is that? So the exchanging of gifts can mean a lot of different things, but let's look back. First, we got the card that says here and now, and it was upside down. So that means a lot of us aren't paying attention to the here and now. You got to focus on what's right in front of you. What's the next right step? Where are you going? How are you attuning your spiritual gifts? How are you participating in your health? And that means changing. And like I said, I'm right out there. I am open and I'm right out there, and I'm telling you, I'm having to do it for myself. And it's not the easiest thing because my brainwaves are like, oh, no, go and eat this. It'll make you feel better. And I just feel bloated, All right. To the sea. So a lot of us are launching in December and January, I hear, launching our spiritual awareness, and we're being more diligent about it. We're sharpening our swords, so to speak. We're not letting down. We're taking care of our mind, body, and soul. And then exchanging gifts. To me, this means a lot of things. So if you have the gift of prayer, give it, and you will receive twofold, at least, maybe threefold. If you have the ability to give money to these victims, even $5, $10, do it. Because a person on the other end, it might just be what they need to have a place to stay while they're waiting for the insurance to straighten things out. Maybe it's the money to bury a loved one. There's a lot of different gifts we have. And sometimes the simplest gift in December is to smile. How many people go to stores and they just buy, throw it at the clerk rings it up, they tell you how much it is, you pay, you swipe, you shove, whatever it is you do to pay, and you go. And that clerk's been there for maybe 10 hours. Maybe they have 3 10-hour shifts in a row and they're exhausted. How about a smile? How about saying, hey, and if they have a name tag on, call their name. How you doing today? Happy holidays. That's a gift. All right. I'm going to look and see in the feed if we have any more questions. I do thank you all for staying with me, each and every one of you. I do my best to bring you my best every Tuesday. So let's see what we've got going on here. All right, Missy says she wants to get with me. Good friend lost her husband on Sunday. My condolences, Missy. That's tragic, and I send you my love. And yes, let's get together soon. Belen says she's eating sweets when she's stressed out. I hear you, girl. Let's see here. Deborah says, will you pray for me? I feel like I will never come back to myself health-wise, like I'm drowning. All right, so Deborah's been having some health challenges, and I'm going to ask if you're watching this recording or if you're with me now, to please ask that the angels of healing will be with Deborah and bring her health back to her and restore her health fully, easily, and effortlessly. And so it is. Robin, hello to Robin. Hi, Todd. Nice to see you. And Tammy, good to see you too. So I hope that answers some questions. I'm going to recap for you very quickly. Protect your own 3 things. Sorry. Oh, a lot of hearts. Thank you. Let's see here. All right. So how to navigate the holidays, 3 basics that every sensitive should know. And if you have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the feed. 1, protect your own vibration, all right? However that is for you. I admit it to you, I watched too much of the coverage on the drama of what's going on for these people. It's horrific, but it doesn't mean I have to tune in all the time. There's going to be other things coming up on the plane of politics, the world scene. Just get the knowledge, move on. Also, you can protect, you can upgrade your energy shield. Like I talked to you about, there's a crystalline energy shield that I can put in place. It goes in your toroidal field, your chakras, and aligns with them. And it's just magnificent what it can do. It's like a little windshield, if you will. And it's crystalline energy vibrational frequency. So for those of you doing Reiki, highly sensitive empaths, you might want to get that installed before you go and be with loved ones for the holidays. And also letting go of something before you meet a person that you may be meeting up with for the holidays. Mother-in-laws, unfortunately, get picked on a lot, and there are some mother-in-laws that are just simply amazing and beautiful. And there's other people that we have challenges with. Like I said, starseeds, empaths, highly sensitive people, we usually get born to sociopathic, narcissistic families. And you have to know when to say no. You have to know when to gracefully excuse yourself from a conversation, or perhaps you just go visit for a little bit, redirect them to a certain topic, that, a certain conversation, that kind of thing. So I hope that has really helped you tonight. And I'm going to look at the feed one more time as I put up on the screen for you if you have a family member or friend that would like to have a session, you can get them a holiday gift certificate. I've already sold several of these. I can send them out to you. I can send them out to your loved one directly, if you would like. My guys are saying, yeah, drop ship. Or you can come down to For Heaven's Sakes Books and pick it up personally. And I will put it in a little gift bag for you. And it comes with a little Christmas ornament and the certificate. And the certificate will be good until the end of January. So you can also email me. There's an email link down at the bottom of that page. It's on toolsofenergyprotection.com. You can't miss it. It says gift certificates right at the top and it has a little finger pointing, so you can get one of those. Or you can just reach out to me, send me a private message here on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on the About link, and you can find several ways to get a hold of me there. So that is it. And I really appreciate everybody joining me tonight. There are, if you missed out, just hit replay after this gets posted, and you will be able to go back and listen to some of the prediction I had for December. And I thank you, Paul, for asking that question. And I did pull a card. I'm getting cold chills. So my guides are telling me that there is a deceased person here that somebody knows that's watching this broadcast, and that's why I keep getting the cold chills. And they're telling me that whoever this deceased loved one is that keeps giving me the cold chills, somebody who's watching this broadcast will know somebody who's recently passed, and they're desiring to have a session. So if you know that's you, please allow me to be that conduit for them, and I would be more than happy to do that for you. And then I pulled one more card to give some happy news for tonight, and it's interesting because it says spend time outdoors. And this is winter and it's usually cold outside, but in Colorado, where I live, we're getting a lot of sun and warm temperatures this year. So take advantage of it. Go outside. It can stay the way depression, if you can get the sunlight. If you can't get outside, get some direct sunlight, open the window so you can have that sun come in directly on you during the day. So thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. I love each and every one of you, and please do reach out. Again, I sent out emails today and I posted on Facebook down here below the special that I have running for tomorrow for the sessions. There's only 2 left. I think one booked a while ago while we were on because a little message popped up on my computer. So have a great, wonderful night. Big hugs and kisses, and I'll see you here next Tuesday on Tuesday Night Live.